Namaste, sir. Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, thank you, sir.
How was your Christmas?
सर नमस्कार। सर नमस्कार।
Okay.
Ranji, namaste. You are on mute. Okay, so where we?
सर
I'm sorry.
नमस्कार।
I'm sorry, Jai Gurudev. I'm sorry, I was on
Yeah,
mute.
good day.
Jai Gurudev.
सर मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
No. बहुत अच्छी।
सर हर्ष बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ हाँ बहुत अच्छी आवाज आ रही है।
ओके ओके ओके।
So any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. Whether Rahu and Ketu can give good results or not?
Yes. So Rahu and Ketu can obviously give wonderful results, and depending upon where they are sitting and in which planet, in which Rashi they are sitting. There are some houses where Rahu Ketu gives super results. But if they have got affliction, so Rahu doesn't have any body, right? Rahu Ketu doesn't have any body. So they will acquire the body of the planet which they are sitting. If that planet is good, then they can get results. If that planet is well placed, like we learn it in further classes, today we will be covering bhavas. So Rahu Ketu can give outstanding results. Any planet, I mean, when they give good results, no planet can come in between them. For example, I have to. So when Rahu, so you can see the working of him, right, Amit Shah? All Rahu kind of activity. Am, Dam, Dand, Bhed. But anyways, he wants to win, right? And same way at that for Gurudev, Ketu Dasha is running, and like what kind of meditation he is doing, entire word is coming with him. So these planets can, I am running into Guru Dasha and Ketu Antar Dasha, I mean sub period of Ketu. So these planets can give you super result, but you have to follow their way. If you are ready to follow their way, so suppose in Ketu Dasha, Ketu is a planet, as I told you, it is responsible for spiritual practices, right? It is Mokshakarak. So at the time of Ketu, if you are looking for more money, then you are mistaken. The Ketu will punish you because he doesn't like all materialistic things. At the time of Rahu, it is, I mean, it can be both ways. So you can at the same time very good into religious things, because Rahu will do a lot of religious activity for any desire fulfillment. So for desire fulfillment, Rahu will not leave any stone unturned, what do you say, right? So be it going to a temple, be it going to a tantric, be it going to a gangster, anywhere he can go for the desire fulfillment. So these planets also give wonderful results, but mostly Rahu will not give you contentment. Rahu doesn't have any contentment, right? Rahu will ensure that you don't live, I mean, you are not contented, you are not happy with whatever you are.
Is it throughout the life?
Depending, so these planets have their dashas, right? It is called their major periods. So Rahu major period is of, I will teach you that. Rahu major period is of 18 years. So most of the people will have Rahu's time in their life, or maybe Ketu's time, either of them, or maybe some of them can have both of them, that way. So Dasha we will learn. Dasha is like, it is which planet is dominating you most at that particular time. So no planet is, even Saturn will give you super result if it is well placed. For example, There is some noise coming from somewhere. For example, for the last 19 years, Salman Khan was having Saturn Dasha. And his entire career was built into this 19 years, entire popularity. So, am I audible? Most of the people are on still.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, audible.
Yes.
So these and you see, you check people who have made a lot of money in this world. Mostly they will make money from Shani. For example, in India, if I talk about Reliance, petrol is Shani. Tata's steel is Shani. Birla's bauxite is Shani. Mittal's again steel iron. Right? All the arms companies, all the diesel, all the petrol companies, all crude oil companies, all Saturn. So when they will start these malefic grey, when they will give you something, I mean, then it is exponential.
Suppose anybody's shunning is in good position and they're earning lots of money, but in that case, their Brihaspati, like Jupiter, is also in a good position.
Yes, that both can happen, right? Momita ji, I think you have some noise behind you, or maybe Suren ji. So,
No, me.
No, I don't have anything behind me.
okay. So, Momita ji, if you
Anyway,
can
I'll
put yourself-
I'll mute my.
Okay, no problem. So there is no rule that if you have a good Saturn, you cannot have a good Jupiter. So both planets can be simultaneously good. And what we saw about Shani is Saturn is a neutral. I mean, he is a neutral planet. He doesn't have any emotions. So whatever he is in the store for you, he will display without any emotion. So if you have done good deeds, he will display it without any emotions. So wherever you go, you will find success. If you have done bad deeds, again he will display without any emotion. Whereas if you see Jupiter has got that emotional level because he is Guru. So he will, maybe you have done some bad deeds, but Guru will tell you, okay, you do this. If you do this, I'll bless you. Right? Guru's job is what? To give you more learning, more exercise, so that you grow. Saturn will beat you, and then you learn by force. You see, so Jupiter will always give you one chance. Always give you chances. Okay. So like if you have Guru in your life, anybody of you, maybe Vani can be Rick can agree with me. So if you make some mistakes, again Guru will say, okay, fine, no problem. You do this, I'll excuse you, I'll pardon you. Saturn will not leave you because Saturn has no emotions, right? That's why Saturn becomes a very malefic planet. So it is not malefic by, I mean, his approach towards giving the result is ruthless. So he looks very malefic. Otherwise, it is a planet of Vairagya. You cannot get into spirituality without Shani. Until now, unless you have a lot of entanglement, you have a lot of attachment, obsessions, you cannot get into spirituality. Saturn will ensure that you are out of all this emotional obsessions with and then you are on that path. So Guru and Saturn, these two are very peculiar planets, and if we understand them well, so basically the path to Guru goes from Saturn. So if you are doing good actions, Jupiter anyways becomes very auspicious in your chart. See, if you want to improve your Jupiter in your chart, say suppose from the last birth karma you had a bad Jupiter. Now, if you want to improve that Jupiter, what is the way? Jupiter will ask you only Satya, right? Only truth. So if you are doing your chantings, if you are doing good deeds, if you are on the right path, on the life, Jupiter will improve. The moment Jupiter will improve, Saturn will not punish you. Because Saturn will listen to only one planet, only one, Guru. Because Guru is Shiva. Saturn even doesn't listen to his own father, Surya. Are you getting what I'm saying?
So may I ask one question?
Yes, Harsh.
Sir, last time we were discussing on Saturn. You told us that Saturn is a team if anybody is a manager. So if
Yeah.
any person is having Saturn 12th house and it is exalted, what we can conclude?
See, uh, any planet which is, so right now I will not take this question because so many people don't know what is exaltation, right?
Yes.
So any planet which is into exaltation is basically become Vishnu in your chart. That is a protector. So Saturn is good into 12th house if it is into exaltation. It is not bad. So should we
I
start? Yeah.
Yes.
Amita ji.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I had a question, like Saturn in the first house with Sun. And then, when we were doing one of our classes with you, you said that, though they are father and son, like they are enemies. So that means that, they are going to kind of, because that is the lagna, that is your body. So it's going to have a lot of furor in your life or on your body.
So in single line again, this is something which is somebody most of the people don't know about in our class. So but one single line. Saturn is darkness, right? Surya is light. What happens when these two things simultaneously sitting on your head?
Confusion.
Lot of confusion, right? Because Saturn will say, okay, go to darkness. Sun will say, okay, go to light. What is happening? They are fighting on your head.
So stress all through.
So there are a lot of stress. And Saturn in the Lagna makes you, because Saturn is responsible for giving us diseases, right? Surya is responsible for giving us health. So when Saturn Surya sitting in the Lagna, again there is a fight between a planet which is responsible for giving us ill health and good health. So they are fighting. That means the person is struggling body wise also.
Oh,
Right?
okay. Okay.
What you will do? Okay, what you will do?
Pranam.
We
Improve
will
sun.
improve sun, yeah.
Yeah, improve sun. How you
Sir,
will
one
improve
question.
sun? Do Gayatri. Yes,
Aditya Hridaya Stotra also.
Aditya Hridaya Stotam, Gayatri Mantra, Yoga, Surya Namaskar, anything which you want to do.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Sir,
one
one
question.
Okay, last two questions because today we need to cover big topic. Yeah,
Sir, I have a very small question.
very small. Okay.
Sir, as you said, Saturn only listen up from Guru. He is not listen his father's deed also. So whenever Guru and Saturn sit in a single house, it means Saturn will not give bad result of that house.
Saturn will not give bad results, but, if you are sitting with a criminal, what happens to your image?
Tarnished.
Jupiter will give bad results. Saturn will not give bad results because Jupiter is sitting with a. Suppose if Saturn is dirt, Jupiter is all Shuddhi. Jupiter is sitting with dirt. So you have, you have a beautiful home, but there is a dirt at some point in your home. What happens? Maybe there is a bad smell coming. Beautiful home, bad smell. What happens? The bad smell will dominate, right?
Yes.
So
So
Jupiter
in that
becomes
way,
weaker
okay, got it.
when Saturn. This is what is happening right now in the world. Jupiter and Saturn is together, right?
Yes, conjunction.
It is a conjunction, 23rd of November, and you see what happening from that day. Because Jupiter is Jiva Karak. Jiva means the Jiva in me is Guru, and Saturn is making it weak. That is the reason we have got the second, third wave of Corona, and then this second strain of Corona is coming, and it is going to be, very bad till April. Because Jupiter, which is the protector of us, all of us, is basically weak. You see what I'm saying?
So it means that Jupiter have less power than Saturn. That's why it's coming. Saturn will not get weak. Jupiter get weak.
See, let me tell you, let me shape it in a different manner. You are going with your servant in a car,
Okay.
right? So who is gaining at this time? Who is getting stronger at this time?
Servant.
Obviously, because he is in or she is enjoying, right? You have given him a lot of, or her, a lot of reputation. He is sharing a seat with you in the car. That's why whenever a good planet like Chandra, Surya, Chandra, Shukra, Buddha, Guru, they are sitting with a bad planet. The bad planets become stronger. They become weaker.
Okay, sir.
Right? The way we go to our Guru, right? When we go to our Guru, what happens? Guru will give us something, right? What we can give to Guru? Nothing. Guru will give us something. So treat us Guru as a Guru. Treat me as a Shani. When I will go to Guru, what will happen? I will go ask for something from my Guru and I will come back home. So this we call a phenomenon called power shift. So the Shubh Graha, the auspicious planet, will shift the power to a malefic planet when they are sitting together. Is my internet connection is okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Today is better.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
It's good.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
I'm not able to see you moving. Most of the people I'm seeing as still. Okay, so should we start? Ravinji, you have a question? We need
Sir,
to start.
I
हाँ
need
जी
to know.
सर 2 मिनट लगेंगे
Sir, I
क्वेश्चन
need to
पूछने
know.
में कि
हाँ
Sir, if Saturn is in your first house, it is going to give you effect throughout your life, or other planets will help, to make your life successful or beautiful.
the other planets will help. Other planets will help a lot.
Okay.
But till 36,
सर
it
मैं
will give you bad effect. Yes, Ravinji.
Okay, thank you.
सर शनि अगर लग्नेश की कंडीशन में हो तो
कहाँ पर है?
9वें घर में हो तो लग्नेश
So
होके
that is fine. Lagnesh, the Lord of the Lagna is you yourself, right? The Lord of the Ascendant is you. Then you are not harmful to yourself, right? Then it is not. I will teach you that it is not harmful. But Saturn, if it is in the 9,000, anyways, if it is a Lagna Lord or whatever, then also it will create obstacle in the fortune till 36, which is his age.
36 से पहले 36 के बाद
36 तक.
अच्छा
Till 36.
And K2 is in Leo?
If it is in Leo,
Yes.
then 100% 36 till 36 it will give you a lot of struggle.
Sir, it is very true for me.
See, I have got my Saturn in the 9,000 Leo. So I can validate that 36. And there is only, Saturn, what I want to teach you something else, but okay.
Oh, but I
So
said
what-
K2. K2.
Okay. So
K2 in Leo.
wherever yeah? What Rich you are saying?
K2 in Leo.
Ketu in Leo. Okay. Okay. In the 9th house?
In the first house.
In the first house. Okay. I'll teach you that.
Okay.
Sir, one class
सर
you
36
should
के
keep
बाद
for only question.
I'll give you the concept. I'll give you the concept so that you can put your head in and start thinking about this. See what I told you. K2 is only tail, right? So wherever the tail is in your chart, it is happening like this. Isn't it? Tail will always look like. If it is on your head, that means K2 is giving you all kind of confusion, fluctuation. See, anywhere you see, all of you see your Ketu and see that house, which I'll teach you today, what house reflects what. you will see the vibration of instability coming into that house. Because Ketu is always moving. It is like a tail, right? So by just using the concept, say suppose I said Surya is fire, right? So then you have to apply wherever Surya is sitting in your chart, there is a fire coming, right? And wherever Surya will sit, that place will be burned because Surya is sitting there. There's a lot of fire, it will burn that place. So that way, by the identification of the planet, how is their nature? We will learn, don't worry. You will automatically learn that, right? We will learn how they will respond, right? Should we start now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today what we will learn is bhavas. In English, you call it houses. Okay, so there are three things. Majorly, there are three, and one more thing, nakshatra constellation. But majorly, there are three things which is responsible for all the Jyotish what we do. One is planet, graha, rashi, bhava. Planet, signs, and houses. Now, when I call it into in English, the name is house. But when I call it in Hindi, the name is bhava. So, what is the meaning of bhav? Rahul, what is the meaning of bhav?
Emotions.
Huh?
Emotions.
Emotion.
How?
Yes. So, bhava is emotion, right? So, wherever, so we have got different kind of emotions. We have got different kind of things in our life, and wherever we go, we behave differently. Like for example, if you are coming to this class, you are not sleeping, isn't you? Yeah, because you have come to this class, so your bhava, your emotion has changed. Now you want to learn. Same way, if you go to your bedroom, you want to sleep. You go to your prayer room, you want to pray. You go to a bar, you want to drink, obviously, right? That means same person, when it goes to different houses or different bhava, react into a different manner, isn't it correct? Right? So
True.
so these houses present different kind of all kind of emotion which a human can have in his life. So basically what we do, we take signs, we take graha, we take houses, and when we club all this, the prediction will automatically come out. You see? So you would be able to understand yourself better, or maybe you can see what is happening, why is happening. For example, if Harsh, you are going to your mother's place, what you will do?
Sir, before going, I will carry some fruits, some gift for her.
And what happens when you go to your mother's place and you start working on your laptop?
Doesn't feel good.
Mother gets angry.
Mother gets angry, right? Because you are not supposed to work at this place, but you are working. That means a planet or a graha, when it is moving to a particular house, he has to do what the house wants him to do. Asha ji, can you put yourself on mute? Who is on? Don't do this, huh? If you have some noise, background noise, please don't put yourself on your mic on. What I'm saying is that as a human, when we go to different places, we react differently, right? Same happens with the planet because planet is nothing but a superhuman. It has more Jivatma than us. If I have got 1% of Jivatma, the planet has got around 99% of the Jivatma. So we have to understand grahas as human. So the way I will react when I go to my office or I will go to my mother's place, same way a planet will also react when it will go to different places. And if we understand what is that place and what is to be seen from that place, we would be able to understand what the planet, what the graha will do. Are you getting what I'm saying? So today what we will see in the chart, we have already seen that our graha, in our chart, there are 12 houses, right? Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I have some internet issue because I cannot see any one of you moving.
For
Okay.
me, it's clear. So I think, and your voice is also quite audible, so no issues there.
Okay. So there are 12 houses, right? And we have learned a little bit about the first house, which we call ascendant, right? We have learned a little bit when we were developing what is ascendant, how it works. So, and these houses plays the most important role for the behavior of the graha, because graha will behave according to these houses. Now, today we'll see what we can see from, and let me tell you, as a Jyotishi, anything in this world, anything, any question in this world can be coming, is coming any of these houses. There is no question, there is nothing which cannot be covered into these 12 houses. So what we are doing is we are basically taking a brief understanding of these houses, and then when we will develop them, you would be able to understand what else we can see from them. So the first house. So what do you call to the first house?
Ascendant.
Ascendant or the Lagna. So in Kalpurush chart, basically, what happens? The first house will come like this, right? So it is my head. So the body part which I will see from the first house is my head. Now the fuse of my body is there, right? If your brain has stopped working, your hand can also not work, isn't it? If my brain has stopped working, my hand can also, it cannot move, right? So the entire body structure, the entire health of the person, the entire body movement of the person can be seen from this first house, which you call Lagna. That's why this house is the most important house of the entire chart, because this is the house where I live, right? So if I live into this house, rest of the house are supporting house, because this is the house, the Lord of the first house or the Lagna itself is the house where the Jivatma lives. And if I am living there, I am the receiver of everything which in my life. So that's why you call this the Lord of this house. So suppose if in Rick case, there is 5 number in the Lagna or the first house. The Lord of this house is Surya, right? So in Rick case, the lord of the first house Surya is called Lagnesh, and that is Rick, right? And house is where he lives, right? So house, like in our case, we live in a particular house, and who is living? I am living. So that is the lord of the house, right? So the lord of the house is you yourself. The house will show the property. So Lagna is the most important house because we can see the entire mentality, the mental capacities, abilities, incapabilities, behavior, all the activities of this house. So how will be my face? How is my body structure? Whether my hair will be like this or it can be better than this. Whether I will be having hairs or not. Whether how long I can live. You see, the longevity of the person is also from the first house, because that's where the fuse is, where the socket of my entire life is there. So my mental, physical, and emotional capabilities are seen from the first house. And because of my mental abilities or my brain, I will do some certain kind of behavior. So whether this person is a good person or a bad person, how he thinks like a Saturn, he thinks like a Surya, or he thinks like a Shukra, will depend upon the planet sitting in this house, or maybe the lord of the house. For example, Venula ji was saying she is having Shukra, Saturn, and the Surya in the first house. So what I was saying is, you have got Saturn sitting on your head, right? So whenever Venula ji will react, Saturn role will come, isn't it? If somebody is sitting on your head, you have to take him into consideration. So all the receiving which you have in this life. So if you are living in a mansion, who is living in the mansion? The Lagnesh is living in the mansion, isn't it? So you have a big car, you have a BMW or Audi, but who is sitting in that car? You are sitting in that car. So your entire happiness, your entire life, and entire activities can be seen only from the first house. So this house is good. That means good. When I say good, means what? You have got the lord of the house is into a good place, or maybe this house is having any benefic planet. Benefic planet means Shukra, Surya, Ashukra, Chandra, Buddha, Guru, right? Or any of these. If you have got these kind of planets sitting on your head, they will not create a lot of pressure on you. But you have got Saturn sitting on your head, it can create a negative pressure because his nature is negative, right? So for understanding the personality of the person, how this person will react, and how this person will start thinking in a particular manner, will be depending upon this house. For example, anybody having Mercury on the head, Mercury on the Lagna?
Yes, sir, mine.
Asha ji, Nidhi also. Anybody having Surya in the Lagna?
Yes, sir. Mine is
Yes, sir.
Surya, Chandra, and Jupiter.
Okay.
Leo.
So
Sir,
okay.
Surya
So what
and
I was
Saturn.
saying when I was detailing the planet, what I was saying is Mercury is childlike, isn't it? It is a child, and it is a planet which is responsible for all the economics. So if a person having Mercury on the head, he will think what is good, what is bad for him. He will think first for himself, because child will always think first for himself. See, child is a little selfish, right? They are very happy, but they are very selfish. They need ice cream first. If they have got their ice cream, then they can share with you. It is you will rarely find a child who can share ice cream without having himself, isn't it? Whereas if a person is Surya in the head, who is dominating the brain? Surya, right? So suppose Asha ji, Poonam has got Surya, right? Yeah. So Poonam has got Surya in the head. Now Poonam wants to do some job. What Poonam will do?
Poonam is not easily adjust in that place.
That is okay. Now Poonam wants to be a work done. Say suppose Poonam wants a new
She will
watch.
delegate. She will delegate.
She will not delegate. She will order.
She order.
He will
Yeah,
order,
she will
yes.
Right? Her brain will work like this. Mercury is a businessman, so Mercury can delegate. Because Mercury will find resources who can help him to achieve some objective, right? That is the approach of business. Now, suppose Venulaji is only, for example, for now, is having only Saturn in her lagna. Then what she will do?
So she will take lots
She
of
will
time to
delay.
make a decision. She
She
will
will
take
delay.
lots of time.
So she
Only Saturn.
only Saturn, say suppose. So what Saturn is slow, right? Saturn is slow. So she will take a lot of time thinking, should I take it, not take it, should I? Saturn is very laborious. She will think, okay, I need to work very hard. I have to save money. I have to do this. I have to do that. Then only I will make money. I will have a watch. And finally, what Saturn is dukkharak, significator of sorrow, isn't it? Right? So what she will say, okay, I am so poor, I cannot buy a watch even. This is Saturn. You see, same event, we are reacting on a different palette. For example, Rahul is having Mars in the Lagna. What Rahul will do?
So he will be very aggressive.
Valor.
aggressive.
So Rahul will come and kill me and take my watch, isn't it? I will not bother. Mars will not bother. Mars has a sword in hand. He has a weapon in hand. What he will do? He will go to somebody. He will say, "Okay, I want your watch. Give it to me." This is how we react in different aspect of life, right? That's why this house, the Lagna or the ascendant, becomes the most dominating house while recognizing our nature, right? Now, coming to the health. Coming to
Can I
just
ask a small
let me
question?
finish. Then, yeah,
Okay.
Erika.
No, I just wanted to ask, what if you don't have any planets in your Lagna?
That means you have nobody sitting on your head. Is it good or bad?
Good.
Good, isn't it?
You're independent, very independent, isn't it?
You are independent, isn't it? Because if you have a guest, see, first house is your house, right? A
Mhm.
planet is coming from somewhere, becomes your guest,
Mhm.
right? So when you have a guest, what happens? You are into pressure because you have to
Pleasing,
serve him,
yeah.
feed him, isn't it? You have to be into a little bit of formalities because a guest is there, isn't it? So if you don't have any planet, it is good. But then the lord of the house should be very strong. Because if you don't have anybody and you are also not at home and you are weak somewhere, somebody will come and then take your home.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if you are not having any planet on your head, it is good. If you are having a planet which is Shubha, which is an auspicious planet, it is super good because that planet will give you that kind of intellect, right? Now, for example, if you have got Rahu in your head, what happens then?
Confusion all the time.
Rahu is
Desire.
not confusion. Rahu is
Very
hallucination.
ambition.
Very ambition, right? Ketu is confusion. There is, I think somebody, Ketu, Ravindraji, can you please mute yourself? Ketu is confusion.
Okay.
Ketu is headless, isn't it? If you don't have any head, you will be confused. Rahu has a big head. That means a big desire, big planning. So if somebody is having Rahu on your head, he's always up to something. He wants something, and it is the asur, right? It can never be satisfied. So the moment one desire is finished, he will have another desire. So what is happening? The guy is always running towards that, right? So when it comes to health, right? Because first house is your health also, no? Your entire brain is there. If your brain is not working, your body is also not working. And your food, your entire body structure will be defined by this house. So if you have got Guru in your Lagna, how is your health?
Good, sir, good.
Good. Healthy. If you have Saturn in your Lagna, then?
Care health.
Because what is the role of Saturn? Saturn's role is to give me punishment through social embarrassment, physical embarrassment, financial embarrassment. So if it is sitting on my body, so what is the role? He will give me bad health, isn't it? And how it will give me bad health? I will think about myself that I am not good for something, because Saturn has got that inferiority complex, you see. Saturn has got inferiority complex. No? So when it will sit on my head, I will say, okay, I am good for nothing. I am not very intelligent. I am this, I am that. And what happens to when I have got Mars on my head?
Aggressive personality.
But Mars is responsible for my body, isn't it? It is responsible for my build.
Nice build, like Salman
So I
Khan.
will have a very strong, yeah, Salman Khan, yeah.
So Modi
I
ji.
will, Modi ji, yes. So I will have a very strong build, right? And what I will do, I will be very focusing on my health, isn't it? Mars is always in the gym, right? So I will take care of my body. My body will come first for me, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Two
Why
planets, two
taking
planets
so
in
much?
the first house. Two
Huh?
planets. If you have two planets in the first house.
It's okay. I'll tell you. Don't worry. Right. So if you have two planets in the first house, that means you have got two guests.
More problem.
Right? Okay. If they are friendly to each other, you are at peace. Two guests at single time, but they are enemy to each other. What happens to you then? So you are moving and
Work
then
as a intermediator.
so you are into a problem, right? If you have got two guests of a different nature. For example, as Venulaji was saying, Saturn and Surya sitting in the head, both are enemy. So one will live in this room, one will live in this room. She has to cook different food for Saturn, different food for Surya. That means the personality of the person will have a lot of stress because of these two opposite planets, right? Whereas if you have got two friends sitting in a home, then it will be a happy time because I am also friendly. Rahul and Robin, we three are living in a home. We are having good time. Christmas time, what's the problem, isn't it? So although Rahul and Robin is in my home, but they are very friendly to me. So I am at full peace, right? My friends are at home. What happens when an enemy comes to your home? Maybe mother-in-law. Then what happens? Then you are into full pressure, right?
Wonderful time.
Yeah. So you will have full in case if your mother-in-law is not that much friendly, then what happens? She is stronger than you, right?
Conflict?
Because she is your mother-in-law, right? And she is at your home. Then what you will do? You will follow her directions. So you will become a guest in your own home because mother-in-law will rule. For Indians, I'm saying, isn't it? It happens that way, right? So depending upon the planet and the first house, we will evaluate how a person will think. Now, there is a term called karak, right? Or in English, you call it significator. That means for Rick, the Lord of the Lagna is the Lord of the Lagna is Surya, or maybe in Nidhi's case, the Lord of the Lagna is Buddha, right? But there is one planet which is responsible for all of the entire universe Lagna. That is called Karak. So what you can say is, it is like the Devata of all the Lagna. The Karak is the Devata of all the Lagna. Out of those, maybe a distributor of that particular element. And then my Lagnesh or your Lagnesh has went to that Karak and took that for me. For example, if you have that system in your country, Karak is like a central government, right? And your lord of any house is the state government. So state government will go to the central government for resources. So Karak is that planet which is responsible for everybody, because we have got different Lagna, right? For somebody is Leo, somebody is Dhanu, somebody is Aquarian. But there should be one person which is responsible for one particular department, right? And we are different people taking our share from him. So that person is called Karak or significator, right? And the significator of the Lagna is called Surya. That means what? Surya is responsible for everybody's health, for everybody's brain, for everybody's abilities and body, right? That's why I said in the beginning that Brahmaji put Gayatri in us, and then that's how we come on this earth. And for us living on this earth, the first thing which is required is sun, That's why Surya is the significator of the Lagna. That means what? I will just explain it so that for other houses it will be easy for us. That means what? If your Lagna Lord is not strong, maybe it is weak. How it will become weak, we will see in further classes. If your Lagna Lord is not strong, maybe you have got Saturn sitting there, right? Maybe you have got Ketu Rahu sitting there, and the Lord of the house, whatsoever, is also weak, but your Surya is strong. That means what? That maybe your own home, your own house, your own effort can give you bad health, but there is a support coming from the significator. That means these, for any house, these two things are very important. One is the Lord of that house, right? That means the Rashi which is in their house, the planet which is lording that Rashi, right? Second is the Karak or the significator of that house. So for Lagna, the Karak is Surya. For everyone, right? If I am a Dhanu ascendant, my Lord of the Lagna is Guru. If Rick is Leo ascendant, the Lord of the Lagna is Surya. But the Karak for the Lagna for both me and Rick is Surya, right? That is the reason if you are not exposed to sun, you have got problems in the body, right? That is the reason the moment the sun will come, people will go out, take some sun bath everywhere, anywhere where the sun comes 2 months, 3 months in a year. You see people, the moment the sun is come, sun is there, they are going to the beaches, right? So Surya is responsible for all our health. That's why it is the significator of our health, our Lagna. Second is Surya is father, right? I told you when I was explaining, Surya is father. So because of the father, we have come on this earth, right? Because anywhere you live in this world, anywhere, any religion you possess, the surname will be of father. Maybe when you become an adult, you can remove that surname, right? The religion and the surname will come from the father. So if you are born to a Hindu father, born to a Christian father, you are born Christian. Maybe you can change that religion anytime, because the surname or the religion will always come from the father. That's why Surya, which is responsible for taking us on this earth, is the Karaka or the significator of the first house. Is it making sense? Is it clear to all of you? Am I going a little faster? Kya?
So, sir, a good Surya will kind of have a good relationship with the father.
Obviously, if you have a strong Surya, that means there is a father who is supporting you. Father means doesn't mean only father, any fatherly figure, right? That's why we say in your office, Surya is your boss. Your boss is your fatherly figure in office. In this class, I am the Surya, right? At your home, if you are the chief veg earner, doesn't matter you are a male or a female, but if you are running that home, you are the Surya. That means Surya is responsible for any kind of health which we get in this world. Because we look towards our elderly people, like our bosses, our father, and Surya is government. Finally, we look towards our government to help us, isn't it? To save us, to protect us. That's why it is a protector. Raja, king is a protector for all of us. The job of the king is to protect the public of his kingdom.
So, sir,
And when you are at, just so let me complete. When you are at home, you are the king. Your job is to protect your family first. That's why as a father or as a mother, what you say? You will say, okay, I'll feed my kids first, then I'll take something for me. That's a natural tendency across world that all humans have, right? So Surya is the Karka of the Lagna, and what we see from the Lagna?
So personality of a person, activities, nature,
Longevity,
Intelligence,
mentality,
body,
body
health, and intelligence.
How we think, yeah.
Yes, how we think, right? And the receiver Lagna. So we have got our fuse here, right? The moment my brain will stop working, so whatever happening in my life, If I am not liking it, it is zero value for me, isn't it? So for example, somebody gave me a Audi, right, as a gift, and I don't like it. What is the value of that Audi for me? Zero, right? So anything which your Lagna Lord will like, that will only make an impact in your life. Are you getting what I'm saying? Say suppose if you are a teetotaler and somebody is drinking the best of champagne of this one in front of you, does it make any difference? No, zero. But if you are a habitual drinker, then I mean you will beg for it, isn't it? You will say, okay, give me one sip only. I want to just taste it because I love it. That means what? Anything which my Lagnesh or the Lagna Lord is liking, that is making an impact in my life. That's why this planet is the most important planet in your chart. The Lord of the Lagna, right? The Lord of the Ascendant. Because our choices, our preferences, our behavior, our intentions, our mentalities and intelligence, everything is seen from this. You got what I'm saying?
Assess the Lord of the Lagna.
I'll teach you how we will assess.
Okay, fine.
Right. Should I move forward to the second house? No. So what happened? You have arrived on this planet, right? From the Lagna you have arrived? Okay. So you have arrived on this planet from the Lagna. Now, the moment you arrived on this planet, you got your family, isn't it? You got your mother, father, you see your uncle, aunt, badi sister, elder sister, younger sister, elder brother, younger brother. So the second house is your family. So we will see your family from the second house. Momita ji, please keep yourself on mute. It actually makes me a little irritated because
No, and accidentally I touched it. It was not my intention.
So, yeah, but just a request, because I don't teach anything which is scripted. Right? So when the flow is broken, I forgot things, what I was teaching. Okay, so the moment I landed on this planet, first thing, I got a Lagna, I got a body, right? Second thing, I got my family. So from the second house, we will see your family. Now, when I see your family, what else? Your initial education, in Sanskrit you call it samskara, right? The initial samskara which you will get, we will get from your second house. For example, if you are born to a vegetarian family, you will be vegetarian unless you become adult, right? If you are born to a criminal family, then you will be called as a member of a criminal family, right? If you are born to a Brahmin family, you will be called as a son of a Brahmin family, and you will be taught all those traditions, right? So if I am a born Christian, I will be taught to go to church. If I am a born Hindu, I will be taught to go to temple, right? That means what? Our initial sanskara or our initial learning in the life, these learning are not related with your school. These are the learning of the life. Till 5 years of age, what we call it, whatever we learn, it will go to your subconscious mind and it will always play an important role in your life. So that is to be given by the second house. So in India, we see the Gotra from the second house, right? It will be difficult for Erika or maybe Robin to understand, but doesn't matter. We will see your family from the second house. Now, when we were drafting that chart, okay, so this is the second house, right? So which body part is coming in this house?
Mouth.
Mouth. So everything which is related, yeah?
It was eyes.
It is eyes also, it is mouth also. So everything which is related with your mouth, that means what? How you will speak, whether you will speak in a good manner or you will be a little hesitant to speak. Yeah. Just a moment, huh? Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. Okay. So how will be my speech? Whether I will be very polite in speaking, whether I will be using abusive language, whether I will be a great communicator, or whether I will be a little hesitant while communicating with people while speaking. All of these things will be seen from the second house. Now, when I talk about the mouth, whatever I am eating, right? Whatever I am eating is to be seen from the second house. That means what? Whether I will be a vegetarian, I will be a non-vegetarian, I love solid food, I love junk food, I love liquid food. What kind of diet I would love to have? What kind of, that's why we say, right? Whatever you will eat, that only will come out of your mouth, isn't it? Right? Because the food which you are consuming and your speech is coming from the same house in Jyotish, right? So your eating habit, your speaking habits, right? Your family, and which is the Rashi in the second house? 2, Taurus. It is a Rashi of wealth, right? So all your saving. So when I am saying wealth, I am not saying income, right? I am saying about the wealth which you possess. That means your income or your saving. That's why it is a house of banking also, right? Okay, what else we can see from this house? My eyes, right? Because that is also in the second Rashi. So I will see the eyes of the person. That means what? What does the eyes tells to you other than the vision?
Your soul reflects.
Pardon, Erika?
Your soul is reflecting from your eye.
Yes.
Your
So
real self.
Yes. So my thought level, right? My internal intentions can be seen from the second house, because whatever you are thinking can be reflected from your eyes. I mean, you say like this, no, you can say lies by your mouth, but you cannot say lies by your eyes, right? Okay. Second, so what happened? Family, eyes, mouth. You have teeth in your mouth, so teeth also, right? Then speech, wealth, banking, right? What else? Who is the lord of this house in Kalpurus chart?
Venus.
Shukra.
Shukra,
Venus.
right? So all your ornaments, all gold, all necklaces which you love. See, maximum of gold where you will put? Up to this portion, right? From this portion to this portion, maximum, right? And we have got hand in the third house, so sometimes we will put some rings in your hand, but maximum of the jewelry we will be putting on this portion. So all your jewelry ornaments will come into this. Now there is one more important aspect of this house. This is a house of death, right? So that I will explain you later when I will teach you Bhavat Bhavam, that how it is a house of death. But for now, for understanding, what Rishi Parashar wants to tell me, that the way I will speak and the food I will consume will decide my age. Right? That's why it is coming from the same house. That means if I will consume bad food, if I will consume liquor, maybe drugs, whatever, right, that will become a killer for me. Right? The same mouth which can give me a long life can give me death also if I consume bad food, maybe bad things, anything, maybe liquor, drugs, whatever. Right? That's why this is a house of death also. The derivation we will learn later when I will teach you Bhavat Bhavam. right? So that's why this house, the second name of this house is what you call them. It is called Dhanisthan, right? So first, the Hindi name for the first house is Lagna. The Hindi name for the second house is Dhanisthan, right? And the house of wealth. So your family is the biggest wealth. This is what Rishi Parashar wants to teach me. Are you getting what I'm saying? Which is the biggest wealth? Your family. And this family is given to you by default, right? There is no choice. No choice. You can be away from your family, but there is no choice, because the moment you landed on this earth, the first thing you saw is your family, your mother, your family, right? So first thing you receive, you got is the name of mother, father, or maybe the family name. So this is a house which is very responsible for our death, whereas this is a house which is responsible for my sustenance. That means if I'll stop eating, how long I can sustain? Maybe 2 months, right? That means if I will give good food to this house, good food is what? I will speak well, I mean speak good things, I will consume good things, my sustenance on this planet will be longer. If I will go against the nature of this house, I will go, I mean my Jai Gurudev will be happening very soon, and it will become, and that's why this house is called Marak Sthan. What is the name, Erika?
Maharakstan.
Yeah, so Marak is a house of death, right? So same time, this is your family Kul Sthan, Vani Sthan, house of speech, house of wealth, house of death, all coming into this house, right? Okay, next. So,
And the planets
and the
in this,
Karak.
in this house.
Okay, so the lord of this house is Shukra, right? And the Karak and the significator of this house is Brihaspati, Jupiter. That means what? Jupiter is responsible for all the wealth which I will possess. You see, Jupiter is, that's why very important. My family is coming by the blessing of Jupiter. My eating habit will be coming by the blessing of Jupiter, right? That is the reason. When you have bad health, what we as an astrologer I will suggest you?
Chant Vishnuji.
Okay, so I will suggest, because Jupiter is Shiva, so I will suggest you for Rudra Puja if you are having bad health. If you are not able to consume anything, we will do Rudra Puja. We will pray to Jupiter. We will pray to Shiva, right? We will pray to Shiva that this person should consume from the mouth, not from the nose. I heard what I'm saying. So Jupiter is the Karaka, and Jupiter is the Karaka for more than 5-6 houses that you will see. That's why whenever I say Jupiter, I will give so much of importance to this planet, because even this one planet is responsible for 5 houses out of these 12 houses, right? Okay. So this is the, yeah.
One question. You said health is, first house is responsible for health, but then the second house is also responsible for health because of the food. So, no.
Second house is sustenance of your health. Now, God has given you a certain type of body structure, right? God has made you, you were born healthy. That is Surya. But if you are, every day you are eating rubbish, then what happens? So the sustenance of your health, the continuation of your good health will be depending upon your second house, what you consume, what you speak, right? That's why in all the religion, they give a lot of thrust to be polite, to be good to the people, don't curse people, don't use harsh words. You get what I'm saying? You use harsh words when you are angry, and when you are angry, everybody knows that we are basically giving problem to our health if we are getting angry easily, isn't it? That is related. So First house, the Karaka is Surya, which is responsible to give me that body. But how I will continue that body, right? Whether I would be putting good stuff or bad stuff, that is to be seen from the second house. And this is a very simple way to see. If good planets in sitting, you will consume good food, right? For example, we'll just do some little bit of prediction. What happens when Rahul has got Chandra in the second house?
So he will love to take liquid diets.
Right, right? Because Chandra is liquid, isn't it? Okay. If Shukra is there,
Tasty food.
tasty food, sweets, right? Guru is again sweets. Guru is that food which give you fat. And what happens when Mars is sitting there?
Non-veg.
Spicy food.
Spicy food.
Spicy.
Right? Fire. And Rahu?
Non-veg.
Non-veg. Saturn?
Same non-veg.
Saturn is stale food, right? 2 days old food, 3 days old with stale food, right? And maybe some with small beer. That is Saturn, you know. Okay. What happens when Ketu? When Ketu is sitting?
Doesn't like to eat anything.
That
Doesn't
could
matter.
be, that could be one case, and the second case can be he doesn't know what to eat. He becomes headless while eating. See, Ketu is sitting in the second house. You become headless wherever Ketu is sitting, isn't it? So when Ketu is sitting there, you become headless, whatever. So I will say, okay, sweet. So he will take sweet, and then I will say, take some namkeen. He will take namkeen. No preferences. He will consume everything. Are you getting what I'm saying? Right. So you become all of you become Jyotishi today. You have started predicting.
Buddha, sir. Buddha.
Mercury.
Planet is sitting on the second house, sir.
Pardon?
If no planet is sitting on the second house.
So the Lord will be sitting somewhere. No, there is one Lord for all the 12 houses. See, okay, there is an electricity cut in my office. Let me tell you, let me clear you one thing. We have got 12 houses, right? But we have got only 9 planets. So in any scenario, 3 houses has to be left blank, right? And then there are some conjunction. Maybe you have got Surya Shani sitting together, Shani Ketu, Shani Rahu, Mangal Shani, Guru Ketu. So there are some groups also. So all of us having some houses where maybe 1, 2, 3 people are living, and then some houses purely vacant, isn't it? But every house has a Lord because there is a Rashi sitting there.
Yes.
So every house is a Lord. So when there is no planet, we will see the Lord.
Okay.
Right? Where is
Karka
the
also.
pardon?
If no planets are there, then we see the Lord and Karka. Or...
Yes. Yes. So if you have family issues, which planet which you will worship?
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Right. If you are earning, yes, if you are not able to earn or save money, which is the planet which is responsible for this? Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Shukra is the lord of that house. That means it is the mode. It is the mode. Because what I said, the lord of the house will go to the Karak. Right? So Shukra is the mode for earning any kind of wealth. We need to earn money because we want to live on this planet. We have some desires. A sadhu doesn't need to earn money, right? He doesn't need to earn money, but we need to earn money because of Shukra. And look at any sadhu. What he does, he will curtail only 2 things. Anything for livelihood, second house, right? 7th house, marriage. All Shukra. The moment you cut this Shukra, you become sadhu. You become a saint, right? So Shukra is the lord of the second house. The Karka of the second house is Jupiter. Okay, now some exercise. What else we can see from this second house? Okay, so let me throw some questions. Okay, So if you want to become a motivational speaker, which house should be strong?
Second.
Second house. Yes. Okay. If you want to become a banker,
Second house.
Second house.
if you want to become, yes. Okay. And if you want to become a singer,
Second house.
Second house.
second house, right? If you start a jewelry shop,
Second house.
Second house.
second house, right? The role of the house will come. Whatever I am doing, right? Okay. I want to start a restaurant.
Second house.
Second house.
Again, second house. Anything which is related to food, I will see in the second house. Right? If somebody will come to me and say, I want to start a restaurant, I will see, okay, how is the second house? Whether this second house is able to give him money or success or not. If this house is not able to give him money, he will start a restaurant, he will go into losses. You get what I'm saying? Okay. The most important, so these all are all materialistic things. The most important aspect of second house is it is your initial education which you receive from your family. Right? That's why we in India we say you can leave anything, but you cannot leave your DNA from the family which you come from. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because that is something which is inserted in your mind when you were an infant. That's why this house is very important for the desires we will have in this life. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if my initial sanskara, my initial education is like that, if my education, Asha ji, can you please put yourself on mute? Yeah. So if my initial education is like that from my family, if I'll get this education, that it is okay to cheat somebody for making money. Because I've seen my father, mother doing that. That is the thing which you cannot take out from me. Because that I am receiving from my generation, ages. And that is built in my DNA. I got what I'm saying? That's why this house is very important while seeing the character of the person. How will be the character of the person? That is very important. Right?
Your value
for
system.
example. Yeah, value system. Perfect.
System.
Perfect. Because Jupiter is your value system, right? Okay, for example, just exploring more. If you have got Venus afflicted there, what is your value system?
Luxury
So
or
mine is
anything.
Venus. Drinking, extramarital affairs.
Yes. So it is okay for you to get into multiple relationships. You think it is okay for you, isn't it? Shukra is there and it is into a kind of affliction, right? If you have got Jupiter there but into affliction, your value system is nothing. You can cheat anybody. Yeah? Jupiter is weak. So Jupiter is my integrity, right? My ethics. So my ethics are zero. But if you have got Jupiter, which is very strong in the second house, that means I will not compromise on my principles, on my ethics. Right? This is how you can see. Okay, if you have got Saturn there, then how is your value system? Huh?
Dispassion towards family.
Critical, very critical of people.
Cold, not emotional.
Slow in getting everything like on the
So, see what happens. Saturn shows Jupiter is growth, right? Guru is growth. So wherever Jupiter will sit or maybe see, it will give growth. Wherever Saturn will sit, it will give it is basically shrinking. So your value system about money is like you don't have much money. This is what Saturn will create that tendency, no? Saturn will always create a tendency of scarcity, right? That I don't have that. That you can be a little inferior about your own family values. Have you seen people who don't admire their family much, and they will try to hide their identity, right? I will come from that family. These are the people who can have influence of Shani, right? If you are Rahu sitting there, you can eat anything, you can cheat anybody, right? Rahu is there. So if Rahu is
sitting there.
I told about Saturn. No, so there can be a little impurity. You can be a little frugal also, because Saturn will always tell you, oh, you have less money, you have less money, you have to save because you want to survive. Right? Where Jupiter is sitting. So, okay, for example, if you have Sun sitting there, then
Coming from some king family.
So you will belong to a rich
Authoritative.
family. Rich family.
Authoritative. Yeah, rich.
Good values.
Good
good values. Saturn, Surya will give you good values, right? Because that is sitting in your house of family. But what happens when when the money matter will come? You will become Surya.
You will give.
You will give, isn't it? When I am Surya, say suppose if all of us going for a treat, right? And I am the Surya, then who will spend money?
Surya.
Who will give the bill? Your boss or you? Always your boss, right? When you and your boss is going for a treat, your boss, you and your father is going for a treat, your father will pay. So Surya is there the moment. So your value system is very strong, right? You are very dharmic, religious in nature. But when it comes for money, you become Surya. So you are a donor. You will give like this. Isn't it? That makes sense or not? Right? Because Surya is king. So when king is there, who else can have the courage to spend any money? King is standing in front of you, isn't it? You cannot ask king, okay, give me a side, I'll pay the bill. It is coming on the ego of the person. Anybody having Surya in the second house?
Yes, sir, mine.
Okay. Do you resemble with this?
Exactly same, sir.
Yeah. You see?
Mercury.
I have Saturn and Rahu retrograde in my second house, and I'm the one who actually pays the bill normally. So
Because that Saturn is retrograde. So retrogression I'll teach you. Saturn is
Rahu
the
is
moment it
retrograde.
is. Rahu is always retrograde anyway.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
When Saturn is into retrogression, it just become opposite.
Okay.
Just opposite. Right. So are you able to see that we are basically doing activities as per the, we have no choice. Can you see that?
If Moon, Mercury, Sun and Rahu are in the second house.
So you have a lot of focus on the second house, Surendraji, right? Because 4 planets is sitting in the second house. Now, for example, somebody is having Chandra in the second house. Anybody having Chandra in the second house? Somebody else told me, right?
My son has.
Huh? You,
My son
Surendraji?
has.
Your son has. Now,
My son has 4 planets in the same house, second house.
That's okay. That's a separate.
Including Moon. Chandra mila ke. Chandra bhi hai.
See, I cannot teach you the conjunction of 4 planets right now, because when we go in a group, we have different behavior, right? When we are alone, we have different behavior. So when a planet is sitting alone, he reacts differently. But when it is in a group, he will react in a very different manner. For example, a Chandra is sitting in the second house, right? So where is your emotions?
Family.
Mother.
So Chandra is your emotions, right? It is sitting in the house of family. That means you have all your emotions sitting in the house of family. Okay. Then Chandra is liquid. Chandra is that saliva in my tongue, right? So I am very fond of food if Chandra is sitting there. And Chandra is, that is the house of wealth also. So my emotions are going in the house of wealth. The person will be very particular about money. Very money minded. See, Chandra is your mind. Wherever Chandra is going, your mind is going. You see your chart, right? So if it is in the second house, you are very fond of food, but very particular about money, very money minded. Isn't it? It happens that way. If anybody is having Chandra in the Lagna, he's focusing more on self, right? More on self. Am I making my point clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happens when Mangal is sitting in the second house?
Aggressive with the family member.
So quarreling with family, fighting with the family.
So
Aggressive.
Mangal can give you fight with the family because it is a malefic planet. You can fight with the family, right?
Protect the family.
Your own family, right? If Mars is sitting. And what? What kind of food you will like?
Sir, junk food.
Spicy.
Junk
Spicy.
food.
Mangal is not. Mangal is spicy food.
Spicy
Right?
food.
Spicy food. And what is your approach towards money?
Aggressive.
Fighter. Right?
Yeah.
You want to fight. You know that you have to fight for money. So you will fight. And one thing is very peculiar about Mars. Mars will always win. Right? Mars will never lose. Mars will always win. So if Mars is sitting in your second house, you will fight for money and you will win. That means if Mars is sitting in your second house, can I say that the person has to struggle for money?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to go in a war to win it, no?
Yes.
If you are not going in a war, how can you win? Mangal will always want achievement, winning. So for winning, you have to fight, no? I cannot say that I am a winner because I was running alone. You have to fight with somebody to win, isn't it? So that way we will see. Okay, so second house, is it clear to you?
So Mangal, if it is in second house, the person have to fight for get ancestral property also. But it's not a source of. It's not source of income house, right? It's a banking and
So he will
finance
get
house.
so if it is there, he will get ancestor property. I'll teach you how he will get, right? But he
And with
will fight.
Ketu?
Okay, so if Mars is sitting there, what kind of speech the person will speak?
Harsh.
Abusive, maybe.
Not abusive. Abusive is
Wrong,
Saturn.
harsh.
Provocative.
Provocative, or maybe something which is full of valor, right? Very courageous speaker, like motivator. So
Yeah.
have you seen the army? So they will first, what they will do, by the speech only the colonel or the lieutenant will motivate
Clarity
the
of
entire
speech will be
regiment,
there.
right? But that speech or that clarity will be coming for a particular purpose, right? So they can be harsh, but they can be very what do you call it in English?
Motivational.
Ojasvi vakta, right? When they will speak, the fire will come out, right?
Yeah.
So they
Clarity.
not clarity, not
Fiery
clarity.
speeches. Fiery speeches.
It is like a leader in the opposition,
Impactful, I guess.
right?
Impact.
So when they will be against anything,
Intense.
Mars, that fire, you see. So when they will be
Intense
against
speech.
that will be very intensive speech they will use, right? Okay. What left?
When
Saturn.
Ketu is in the second
Ketu.
house, does it mean confusion and problem with family or?
Yes. So Ketu, see, Ketu has a very peculiar nature. I will again repeat. Wherever it will sit, neither you can be with that relationship and neither you can leave that relationship. Right? So in India, I always say it like this: "Milo na tum to hum gavaraye, aur milo to aankh churaye." So that is Ketu. You see, if your Ketu is in your second house, you can have issues with your family, but you have to go to your family. Because you have to bow down there. You have to become headless. Your ego will be tested wherever Ketu is sitting. You have to become headless. You have to cut your head, right? But while speaking, you can make mistakes because Ketu is mistakes, right? So the person can invite problems because of his speech. If Guru is sitting, the person can invite a lot of luck with his speech. Right? If Shukra is sitting, then the person can invite a lot of females while speaking. Isn't it? I'm an opposite gender. So when Venus is on your second house, wherever you speak, the opposite gender will say, "Oh, I love this person." I get what I'm saying? Because Shukra.
I am Venus at Cancer, sir. Mine is Venus.
In the second house?
So
Yes,
mine
sir.
too.
Huh?
Yes, sir, Venus. Yes, sir, Venus in second house.
Yes, sir, Venus in second house.
So you check, right? Whenever you go to a party, people will say, Bhaviji, you speak so good. I mean, right? It will happen. And what happens? Second house is a house of your wealth, right? It is responsible house for your money. Wherever, whatever planet will sit, it will indicate what kind of money you will get, right?
With
For
Rahu,
example,
Rahu in second house.
Rahu can give you money through researches, through mining, and Rahu kind of effort, right? So for investigation, from investigation, and Rahu is dependent on the Rashi in which it is sitting, right? Otherwise, suppose it's Venus is sitting. So media, entertainment, event management, graphics, fashion, this can be mode of your wealth. If Buddha is sitting, then business, communication, software, banking, that can be mode. Guru is sitting, then consulting can be mode. Surya is sitting, then administration can be, government can be helpful, right? So if Saturn is sitting, then Saturnine impact, right? So maybe Dhirubhai Ambani has got Saturn in the second house. He earns through oil, right? Oil, HR, all that stuff will come into Saturn. So depending upon the planet, you can see that the money will come from that angle.
With
The
Ketu,
astrology.
Mars and Mercury.
Astrology.
So if you have got Ketu in the second house, then Adhyatma, spirituality can give you money. Language, Ketu is language translation, right? Ketu is a linguistic planet. So translations, transcription, occult, spirituality, Jyotish can give you money. Then Ketu is again, I told you, small machines, right? So all this technology, software technology can give you money through Ketu.
Mars and Mercury, sir, together?
Yeah,
So writing can give you money.
Mercury.
I'm into research, so you know.
Yeah, writing.
The
research.
Venus and Mercury both.
So when I always told you that when two planets are there, then it is a different environment, right? So Venus and Mercury is more creative stuff, right? More advertising, entertainment, video making, that kind of.
So we can singing through singing.
Singing, Venus and Mercury, yes. Yes. So speech, Mercury is your speech karak, right? Okay, so can we move to the third house, or it is enough?
Did you say Mercury?
Mercury?
You didn't say much about Mercury, right?
Okay, so Mercury is business, right? There are two groups. One is Saturn group, one is Mercury group. Mercury wants everybody to do business, right? Saturn is a socialist, Mercury is a capitalist. Saturn wants everybody to go for a job. When Mercury is in your second house, how you will earn? Through multiple sources, right? Mercury has a stability problem. Mercury wants everything, right? So through multiple sources, through speaking, through writing, through communication, through teaching, right? Through licensing of different things, and obviously through financial instruments. That can give you money if Mercury is sitting. The best is when Mercury is in the second house, you earn while you speak, right? Speaking.
Sir, I'm a researcher and I have Mercury and Mars in my second house. And I'm doing research.
Yes. And because they will see the 8th house, no? Okay. 8th house of research. When they will sit in the second house, they will see the 8th house.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
So planet sitting in the second house will give you an indication of how the money will come. It is not an indicator of your profession. Let me make it very clear. You can work into a telecommunication company, right? Which is Mercury. But you can have Saturn in your second house. That means you can be a HR in that telecommunication company. So how you are making money? You are making money through HR, although you are into a communication company. Right? If your second house is blank, we will see the Lord of that house. Any house which is blank, we will see the Lord. Right? Okay. So yes.
How to see, sir, if it is a blank in the second house?
It is, I mean, it is good to have some planet in the second house.
Oh.
So that you are.
There's no planet in my house, in my second house.
That is also good. No problem. I told you, if there is no planet, there is no problem, right? If there is planet, it should be good. If they are bad planets, then they will give problems, right? For example, I told you Dhirubhai Ambani has got Saturn in the second house, right? He started with 0 and then he becomes Dhirubhai Ambani. So there are a lot of rich people who have got Saturn in the second house, but they have to struggle. So Saturn will make you strong. When Saturn will start giving you money, nobody can give that money. Yes, it is for 7th generation.
Endless.
Right. Somebody was asking Jupiter in the second house, right? What is your value system about your money? You don't want to do any hanky-panky for money. Right? Guru is sitting in the second house. I want to speak the truth. I want to do the right thing. I will not do any wrong thing for making money. Right? That can be give you a limited amount of money also. Because in Kali Yuga, if you don't do any hanky-panky, then it is really difficult to make money. But when Guru is sitting there, you are not repenting for that I don't have less money. That means that money which you will earn will have a very solid impact. It will curb your expenses. So the money will become, see, if I have got less expenses, whatever I will earn will be higher, right? The same amount will become more saving if I have got less expenses. Am I making my point clear?
Moon in the second house?
Sir,
Moon in the second house?
I told you, no, Moon becomes very money centric. Their emotions are related with the money.
And what type of career they have then?
Related with the Moon, food industry.
Food industry.
Sir, if Saturn in second house, it's create problem in marital life
Yes.
also?
Yes. Because Saturn is your value system in the second house. It can create problem in your marriage, Saturnine impact. I'll teach you when I'll teach you Bhavat Bhavam. Okay. So side income, Ravinji, doesn't come into the second house. The saving will come into the second house. The income will come in the 11th house. We will see later. There is no side income sort of thing. There is one permanent income and one is one which you earn through either through hobbies or through any mediation sort of. Okay. So which is the planet in the Lord of the third house?
Mercury.
Mercury. So what is Mercury responsible for?
Communication.
Buddhi.
Mercury is for money.
Communication.
Intelligence.
Knowledge.
Okay, so the owner of the third house is Mercury. That's why this is house is responsible for all kind of communication, right? Now there is a difference between speech and communication. Second house is a house of Vani. It is a house of speech. Third house is a house of communication. So all kind of communication will come into the third house. Only speech related thing will come into the second house. So if I can communicate with my eyes, which house is responsible? Third house, not the second house, right? So third house is overall. So communication is any speech is just a mode for communication, right? So any kind of communication will come into the third house, which is responsibility of Mercury. So if I can write a letter to somebody, third house, if I can write a software also, what do you say, Rahul, when you write you make a software? You said I'm writing a software, isn't it? So all the software industry, all kind of telephonic communication, what we are doing is through this Zoom. This is also a mode of communication. All kind of communication is third house, right? Okay. Now, if this is your hand, so if you want to become a lawyer, if you want to become a painter, if you want to become a journalist, if you want to become a writer, if you want to become a badminton player, that has to be seen from the third house. So everything which you do from your hand will be coming into the third house. Now this house is called third house. Which Rashi is there?
Mercury.
So the name of that Rashi is Mithun Rashi, right? That's why this house is called Mithun Bhava. This is one of the house which is responsible for our sexual acts. Right? What is our approach towards our sexual acts? Third, this house is a house of communication as well as the adventure. Right? So all my hobbies, all which I want to do when I am on leave. See, normally what we see is I want to go on mountains when I am having off, right? I want to go for a spiritual camp. I want to go to my nanny's place when I am on off. All I want to do when I am not working, like as a hobby, if I do something, that will come into the third house. Now this house, your family has come, this house is the house of your younger sibling. So your younger sibling can be seen from the third house, and this is a house of your valor. In Hindi, you call it parakram. This is a house of effort, the kind of effort which you will put in your life, the kind of effort which you will do in anything in your life is to be seen in the third house. So when you need to put an effort?
In a difficult situation.
In a difficult situation. That's why this is a house of war. In a war, you need to show the valor, right? In a war, you need to show the parakram. That's why the karaka of this house is Mangal, right? So the lord of the house is Buddha and the karaka is Mangal. So there will be different type of two activities. One is Buddha, right? So all kind of communication, software, telecommunication, writing, reading, writing, all that stuff which is related with the Mercury, right? Same time, it is Mithun Bhava because of Mercury, right? So our sexual activities can also be seen from the third house, and because of the Mars, all kind of effort and struggle and war which we will face in our life is to be seen from the third house. That's why this house is not considered a good house, right? Because whenever the third house will come, you have to show the valor, you have to show the parakram, and whenever you have to do the parakram, it is a stress giving situation in your life. Right or wrong? Right.
Sir,
Okay.
please repeat. What did you say? That
see,
this
wherever
last...
you have to show the valor, right? Wherever you have to have a weapon in your hand, this is a tense situation in your life. That's why we will judge what kind of fighter this person is from the third house. Will he be in the battlefield till the end, or he is he will leave the field? That means the ability to take the stress, the ability to fight will come from the third house. That means what? If say, suppose you are very intelligent, right? You are great into you while you speaking, but your third house is weak. That means you can think very well, you can distribute your gyan in a very good manner, but when it will come for the action, you won't be able to execute that. Have you observed these kind of people also who only speak, right? Only pharmacology, nothing, right? That they are very good in second house, right? When they will speak, you will say, oh, this person is so great. When it will come for the action part, the person will fail. That struggle, that fight which we need to do in our life is to be seen from the third house, and Mangal is the fighter, right? That's
Say that the house is strong or weak.
Depending upon the planet sitting, right, or the Lord. Now tell me one thing. Is Guru wants to fight?
No.
No, sir.
No. Buddha wants to fight?
No.
Shukra wants to fight?
No.
No.
Chandra wants to fight?
No.
Who wants to fight?
Malefic planets.
Malefic planets.
Mars and
Right?
Saturn.
Mars, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn. Right? These are the planets which will make you a fighter. Jupiter will always say, I will pray. I will meditate, things will be resolved. Mercury, what Mercury will say? I will mediate. Right? Let's sit on the table. We will crack a deal. What will Chandra say? I don't need this. Okay, I'm going to leave it. What will Shukra say? I will have a lot of desire, but I cannot do anything. Only Mangal, Shani, Rahu, Ketu, they will take a weapon and say, okay, I'll kill somebody to do something. That's
The
why.
sun also. Sun.
Sun also, yes. Sun also. But Sun doesn't like struggle, you see. It is a royal planet. Right? Sun is also not very much comfortable in the third house, although it is not bad. Sun in the third house means what? Your king is exposed in the battlefield. That means that is your last hope, right? In any war, if the king is dead, the war is finished. So we will go first. First, the Saturn will go, right? The lowest rank officer. Then Rahu will go. You will try to win the battle through some detective, right? Some conspiracy, some other method like the way China used, right? Hook or crook. Then Mars, your commander-in-chief. The last is Sun, right? The strongest in the third house is Mangal because that is his home. The battlefield is Mars' home, right? So the malefic in the third house, they are good. But in what manner they are good? So my question to you is,
making efforts.
My question to you is, benefic are good in the third house or malefic are good in the third house?
Malefic.
Malefic. Okay. So if Mangal is sitting in the third house, what it will give you?
Courage.
Courage. And why you need courage?
For fighting.
Fight.
Because life has
Take
fight.
actions.
To win.
Take actions.
That
win,
means what?
basically.
That means what? If Mangal is sitting there, first it will give you fight, then it will win.
Yes.
So it is better to have, like, if you have that power, okay, I'll meditate and my problem is solved. Or if you have that power that I will fight and my problem is solved, which one is better?
Meditation.
But every problem cannot be solved from meditation, no?
So it depends on the person also.
Yes.
It can be
So
solved with meditation.
It is said that malefic gives wonderful result in the third house, right? But it gives that result with a lot of stress.
Yes.
Right? Because you have to fight, no? You have to fight. And it is not a normal fight. This is a war. So obviously you need Shani, Mangal, Rahu, Ketu in a war. But why to get into a war? If there are other ways, why to get into a war? So malefic will make you the winner in the third house. Right? That's why they are said beautiful in the third house. They will make you the winner. So if you want to become a player, which planet you want in your third house?
Mangal.
If you are a player and then you have Jupiter in the third house, then you will not fight. You will say, okay, you win the match, I am going home.
That is not proper.
Right? So that means to becoming a player, you have to have some malefic planet in the third house.
Yes.
Because players are there to win the match, right? If you have Mercury in the third house, you will become a writer. Why you become a player? Mercury will say, okay, sit on the table, we will crack a deal. You win the match, you give the money to me.
So what if Saturn is sitting?
So Saturn is also good, bro. Saturn is also good in the third house because Saturn will say, I will work till the last minute. I will work hard till the last minute, but I will win. So malefic are good in the third house if you are doing something which is related with some effort. So if you are into army, very good. You should have malefic in the third house. Otherwise, you will say on the war front, you will say Jupiter in the third house. Let's meditate India and Pakistan. right? You need to have a mark there on the army front. If you are a player, right? If you are into anything which need a lot of courage, lot of activities, then this malefic is very good, right? Otherwise, say suppose if you are a homemaker and you have got Mars in the third house, then
You will always win from with your
Lots of
spouse.
fights at
You always
home.
want to win.
you
Lots of
always want to
fights.
win. But where is your battleground?
House.
Where is the fight? So where is
Kitchen.
the fight going on?
In the
Husband.
house.
In the home. In the home,
Rahu,
right?
then Rahu will be good, sir. Then
Right.
who can cook?
Yes. So that means what? Both planets, malefic group or benefic group, can give different results depending upon what we need from our life, what we want from our life. That's why this house is called the house of free will. This is the house where your free will is there. There are basically 4 houses where your free will is there. Third house, 6th house, which you will learn tomorrow, 10th house and 11th house. This is the first house of free will. I want to have 1 million rupees in this year, right? What I need to do, if I have a malefic planet in the third house, I will do my best to get that money, because that is the house, that is the planet which will basically push me, right, to get that target. If I will have a Shubh Grah, I will say, it depends on God. If God wants to give me 1 million, I will receive. Otherwise, I'm happy with 10,000 bucks. You see? So your free will, so third house malefic planet is good when you want to exercise your free will. If you have problem in your sadhana and you have got Chandra in the third house, then what you will say?
So wavering mind, focus
So that
not
means
there.
what? Your mind is at war, right? Third house is a house of war. Your mind is going in the house of war, right? That means your mind is in the war. Will you be able to meditate when your mind is in the war? No. What do you want to become when you want to meditate? You have got Mars sitting there as a soldier, right? So if you are lacking in anything in your life, then you need, lacking means discipline. Then you need that malefic planet. Because of so Mangal will give you that discipline because of the duty. Rahu will give you that discipline because of the desire. Ketu will give you that discipline because of spontaneousness, headlessness. You don't know. Somebody has told you, you have to do Sudarshan Kriya daily. You don't use any head. You are doing it daily without fail. And Saturn will give you that discipline because of scarcity. You want that thing in your life badly because your mind thinks that you need that. Are you getting what I'm saying? Right? So for discipline, for free will, for activities, for parakram, for valor, we have to use this third house. Right? And then malefic will give you that push. Right? Benefic can only bless.
So what if you have both Jupiter and Ketu in third?
Good. What else you want? You can use anything. Right? You can use both. If you have got a benefic as well as a malefic, right? But let me tell you, the worst place for Guru is the third house. Because Guru will never want to go into effort. I mean struggle, right? He will never wanted to go into parakram. Jupiter will close the eyes, the thing will come, right? So he doesn't want into war. That's why it is not a very good place for Guru. Although, again, it can give you struggle. Like you don't want to continue the same thing for a longer time because Jupiter doesn't want to fight. But he will bless you with so many other things. You will be very spiritual, your income will be very good, and your marriage will go great, right? He will give you a lot of blessing from there. But the consistency with Jupiter doesn't want to fight. So you will not, the desire level of the person is not that much. For a spiritual
how-
person, it is a blessing. Because
Sir, how,
see,
Ketu is also there, then it becomes a different thing.
sir, how
yes,
how it will bless the marriage?
from the aspects, I'll teach you the aspect. When Guru will look at some place, that place will prosper. So Jupiter has got three kind of aspects, right? That we will learn in the next week maybe. Okay, so
So what
what
if
left
in
in the
third
third?
house is Surya and Mercury? So
Uh,
what if in third house Surya and Mercury?
it is good. Mercury, it is in its own house. The person is good in the communication, right? If Surya Mercury, that means what? Surya Mercury is called Pandit Yoga. The person becomes very intelligent when the struggle will come, right?
Sir,
Okay, so this is for the third house. Yes.
sir, I also have Sun and Mercury, but my Mercury is combust totally. So what does that indicate?
Combustion I'll teach in the next week, right?
Mhm.
See, but I have a very poor habit of answering everything. Combustion is simple, right? Any planet which is near to sun is combust, right? Okay, combust means burning. So suppose you and your father is going together, right? You and your father is going together. Who will take the decision?
My father.
That means you are not using your intellect, or
He
maybe
doesn't
the
let me.
power is, yes, because the power is not with you, right? That means the planet who is combust is not able to basically use the potential of it, because the sun is sitting. When sun is sitting, you are not able to do anything because Surya is sitting. When the king is sitting in front of you, whosoever you are, you have to keep mum, isn't it? Because only the king will speak and king will take the decision. That's why in combustion, the planet which is combust with the sun is not able to perform its duty.
Sir, if it is Lagna Lord, it is my Lagna Lord. So Lagna gaya, काम से.
So when Lagna Lord is in the third house, Lagna wants to travel, right? Third house is a house of travel, right? It is a house of travel. It is a house of short travel. It is a house of adventurous travel. So Lagnesh is in the third house. Where is your focus? In traveling, in adventure, right? But it is combust.
Yeah.
That means you want to do a lot of travel, but there are some forces. Who is combusting you? Surya. So there are some society problems. There are some money related problems. There are some problem of the elders, which can basically obstruct you to fulfillment of this desire. Right? Anybody who has got Lagnesh in the third house will be very fond of solo travel. Right? Solo. Because Lagnesh, your soul is sitting in the house of travel, adventure, hobby. Right? This is good. Then it is the house of sex. That means if Lagnesh is sitting and it is combust, that desire will not that much be, I mean, it is not that much satisfied because it is into combustion.
Venus in the third house. Venus.
It is good. Shukra is good. I mean, see, a Shubh Graha in the third house will give you peace in the life, right? Because it will basically decrease your struggle. A Ashubh Graha will, a malefic planet in the third house will basically give you adventure in the life, right? Adventure. So you will go perform. So any Shubh Graha is good. Any Ashubh Graha will give you that power, right? If you so that's why we say in the third house of war, Ashubh Graha, a malefic Graha is good because that is his nature, right? But a benefic Graha doesn't want to go into war, so it can be some problem. But again, if it is sitting there, that means it will bless you, that you need not to struggle a lot. So I wanted to cover basically 4 houses, but today I think it is sufficient, and we will cover 5 houses tomorrow. And then so I have a plan to cover 12 houses in 3 lectures. Is it making sense to you? I mean, are you finding it interesting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is very interesting. But the
Absolutely.
only thing is that, you will have to kind of reiterate, how to Lagnesh and all of that. You'll explain once.
Yes, yes, yes. But what you need to do is when you see your chart, at least keep 3, 4 charts. Yeah, you
Okay.
yourself, your family members. Don't use your kids' chart,
Okay.
right? Because you will become very emotional. The moment I will see a bad thing, will say, "Oh, this is in my daughter's chart. What happens to him?" And then there is a tendency of worry, right?
Okay.
Because you don't know Jyotish fully. So don't use
Yeah.
your kids' chart. You can use your chart, your spouse chart, maybe your parents' chart, and then or maybe your friend's chart, and then and keep only those charts whom you know personally in and out,
Okay.
right? Because you know them. Then you see, okay, this is in the third house, is this planet, how this person reacts into a particular situation, right? if if Saturn is sitting in the second house, what kind of speech, what kind of food habit this person, and the moment you will see, okay, Saturn is sitting in the second house, but the person is not abusive, I mean doesn't abuse a lot, then there is then the development will start, why it is happening so, right? So keep that thing in the mind. You can write that thing. Okay, Saturn was sitting in the second house. The person doesn't like any stale food. Write down that point that he doesn't like any stale food. Then the answer will come maybe in the next class or next few classes. Then you will grow.
Okay, sir.
Are you getting what I'm saying? In
Sir,
any case, there are just a moment. I'm just finishing. There are basically two things, right? As I started this class, wherever I will go, I will have to follow the rule of that land, right? So if I will go into the second house, I will see two things. Who am I, right? And what I am supposed to do. So suppose if I am Mangal and I am going to the house of war, this is very natural for me, isn't it? But if I am Guru and I am going into the house of war, it is not natural for me, right? If I am Guru, I am going to the family. It is good. Jupiter is going to the family. If I am Rahu, I am going to the family. Then what I will do? I will fight, right? I will ask questions. I will be rebellious towards my family. That analogy you have to now start working, right? Jyotish, you cannot learn Jyotish only by reading. There are 7 lakh shlokas. How many?
7 lakh.
7 lakh. And we could preserve only that much. More than 70% we have lost. You can learn Jyotish only by logic and applying your mind. If you understand 3 things, Bhavas, Grahas, Rashi, you can learn Jyotish. The only thing is that you have to start thinking in that manner, right? And first thing is that you have to understand this. Okay, if Jupiter is told to be like this, he will behave like this only. If he is not behaving like this, there is something which I am missing. Are you getting what I'm saying? Right? And then the mind will start working. Okay, if Jupiter is not behaving, if this Jupiter is sitting in the second house and that person is very fond of liquor, there is some problem with this Jupiter, right? There is some problem. I have to find out that problem. And the moment we will like grow in this class, you will start looking at those. Okay, this is the problem. Then that concept you will never forget. Right? Something which is established in your mind, you are not going to forget. You don't need to mug it up. Right? How much you can mug it? 7 lakh shlokas are there. You cannot mug. Right? So we have to use our common sense. And the best, the way I have learned Jyotish is I take planet as human. Simple. So I have 9 kind of humans. So if I understand that human psyche, I can basically relate with that planet. Yes? Somebody was asking
Yes, sir.
something.
Sir, if a lord of third house sitting in 12th house means person will not make lot of effort to achieve his objective.
No. See, third house lord is your lord of war, right?
Yes.
It a lot of effort, lot of struggle. 12th house, I will teach them. 12th house is your bedroom. The lord of fight is going in your bedroom.
Okay.
That means the person can have insomnia, sleeping disorder, right?
If it is exalted.
Exalted, it can take you to foreign land.
Sir, if it,
12th
sir,
house
if,
is a house of foreign. Third house is a house of travel. The lord of travel is going to foreign.
Okay.
sir, if
Right.
third lord is in first house.
So that means what? The lord of war, the lord of effort is sitting in my lagna, on my head. That means the person understands this, that if he wants to grow, he will have to work very hard. But that is again a kind of pressure. You see, that is a kind of pressure. No? So if Nidhi has got third lord sitting on the head, always adventure sitting on the head, right? I want to do something. I don't want to do something full time. I want to earn, then spend. Earn, then spend. Third lord in the lagna, right? ऐसा ही है.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if
So
Mercury and Jupiter.
I tell you one thing. You are now basically started figuring out, right, how it works. And let me tell you one thing. The kind of prediction which you people are making in this 9th class, a normal Jyoti will take 3 years to understand this. Because what they will do, they will try to mug up everything, and then you cannot do it, right?
True.
This is the kind of prediction which is coming from you. Normally it takes 1 year, right? The only thing is that we are just trying to understand it. If we understand it, then it is very easy. It is coming naturally to us.
Combustion means.
Combustion, we will have a separate topic, don't worry.
Okay.
Right.
Questions and exertions.
So how we know, sir, how we know that the planet is friendly with other planet and it is
That I'll
enemy
teach
with
you.
other?
I'll teach you. See, we have done planets, we have done Rashi, now we are doing Bhava. These three are the pillars of Jyotish. Then we will do this aspect, Drashti of the Graha. Then we will do with all this combustion, retrogression, and then friendly enemy nature. Then we will have a complete set. Okay, when Erika will go to Komal's house, Erika is friendly to Komal or not? So if Erika is friendly to Komal, they will enjoy together. If Erika is enemy to Komal, they will fight. So if Erika
So
is
simple, all benefic planets are friendly to each other. All malefic planets are friendly.
No. Have you seen two gurus liking each other? Two intelligent person at one home. Two intelligent person in one home. They will fight like anything.
Perfect.
Sir, there's one question. Like if the third house, if the Karaka is Mangal, and it is the house of Mercury. Okay. So like if it is the opposite planet, then how? And there's some planet also.
Yes, because Mercury is a kid, right? And kid have very they can have any desire. There is no logic. So you need that Mangal basically to fulfill that desire. That's why it is a significant of younger brother. So basically what happens, this Mercury and his younger brother, both are going, right? So this third house has got, where you see, wherever this Mercury is there will be two kind of things. So Mercury is duality. So Lord of the third house is Mercury, then there will be duality. One is a very good thing, all that communication. One is that Parakram, Mangal role, right? So the Karaka is Mangal, the Lord is Buddha. That means what? Buddha is going to Mangal for all those stuff.
Sir, if second lord is Jupiter and it is sitting in first house, then what we can predict?
Your family is sitting on your head. Your wealth is sitting on your head. You become very intelligent for the wealth matter. See, am I doing any rocket science?
Okay.
Simple, right? Second lord, mera parivar, my family, my head.
Then Mercury is in second house means war for family in head. War for family.
No.
So Mercury is the lord of third house, right?
Yes.
Then if it is in second house,
That means what? Your Mercury, right? The lord of war is going in the house of wealth. That means
so struggle for a wealth.
You are fighting for wealth. But who is fighting? Mercury. So Mercury doesn't fight with a knife, right? Mercury fight with intelligence. That means the person is learning continuously throughout the life for earning money. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Okay.
And this is what is happening. Is it happening or not?
Yes. Yes.
So it works, right?
Yes.
So first, as
Correct.
a student, I'm closing the session because I have some guests for the last 1 hour. You have to start believing that it works. If you don't believe it, then entire course will go into a waste. You will see this recording after 3 months, and then you said, okay, I missed it. I would have asked this question to Alok. Right? In Hindi, what I frame it like this. ज्योतिष में एक ही नियम है कि हमारा नियम सही है. Right? In Jyotish, there is only one law, that our law is correct. Right? So when you start believing that it works, because whatever I have spoken in this 9 lecture, I know it is working in all of your chart in 80 to 85% cases, 70% cases, bare minimum, right? Where I have not seen the chart. Now, whatever I am speaking, I am not speaking anything which is not coming from any Shastra. There is not a single word of mine in this. The only thing is articulation is mine. The style of teaching is mine, right? So whatever we are learning in this class, there is a foundation to it. There is some authentic resources to it. It is not something which which Alok is teaching you, right? I am just a teacher. You are learning it from a source which is not less than 10,000, 5,000 years old, right? And when it is working on millions and billions of charts, it will work on your chart also. It doesn't happen that. Okay, Ji. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Time. One more request. I will take questions tomorrow. Please keep that question with you. One more thing. Just a moment. I'll share. Mayuri is in silence, and I don't know how to upload this video on that Innercord website. So maybe in this week you have to wait for this video till Monday.
Sir, slides bhej dena bas.
I'll do that.
Right.
Okay, Ji.
Thank you, sir.
Chalo, Ji.
Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Jai
you.
Gurudev, sir. Thank you, sir.
Gurudev, sir. Thank you very much.
Very interesting
Thank you,
classes.
sir.
Very interesting.
Bye-bye.
Alok ji, thank you very much.